this is Ignace from Tolerated Cinematics, and today I will be showing you how to create a cool introduction using some particles, making some cool electric effects. So before we start, you have to know that we need two plugins for this introduction, and those plugins are Trapcode Particular and from Video Copilots the Optical Flares. If you don't have these, you can download the trail version, the link is in the description. And yeah, let's get started. But before we start, I will show you what we are going to create. Okay, so this is what we are going to create today. So open up After Effects, go to Composition, New Composition, and we're gonna take 10 seconds long footage, and then we're going to get it to 1080p at 24 frames. Okay, and then hit OK. Now right click over here, new solid. We're gonna call this BG for background. You don't need to do this, but well, I actually like to have a background so I can change the colors later on. And okay, go to new again, solid again, and change the colors so you can see the differences between the layers. So let's take a red color, or it doesn't matter which color you take, and rename it to particles and hit OK. Now right click again, new, and again you're gonna take solid, and this will be optical flare, and we change the color to blue. Okay, now hit OK again, right click again, new, light, we're gonna rename it to emitter, and you have to do this, else nothing is gonna work over here. So hit OK and OK, and there we go. Now we can change the colors from the layers over here again, and also so red, the background will be brown, and the optical flare is blue. Okay, so now you can see a lot of differences between these. We are going back to the particles, and we're gonna close the eye from the optical flare because we won't use it right now. So just close this down, go to particles, go to effect, Trapcode Particular, and now we're going to emitter and change everything from the velocity over here to 0%, yeah. Okay, and there we go. And then we're gonna change the emitter type from point to light. And now if we are going to move this layer more to the left, you will see these particles over here, and the particle size X, Y, and Z will be also 0%. Okay, there we go. Now we can also start changing the light before we start, so you can see what you're doing. So we are going to press P on the keyboard while we have clicked on the emitter, P on the keyboard, and we're gonna move this, create new keyframe. So click on the stopwatch over here and move it to the right, and then to the top. Okay, excuse me. Once you've done that, I'm gonna move it like let's say 3 seconds farther, and we're gonna get it to the bottom and to all the way to the left. And now you will see two things over here. You can just move them to create an angle and make it smooth. So something like that will do. Okay, and there we go. As you can see, the light is moving, and as you can see, the particles are flying, I'm sorry, behind the light. So now we can start editing the particles. We can start changing this just a little bit, the X and Y and Z. Okay, so now we have something like that, and we're going to change the particle size. The life you can change it to 2, and the size you can change to 3. Okay, now we're going to physics, air, and turbulence field. Now you can change this effect size a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. Don't overdo it. 0.2, effect position, as you can see, you have a nice effect right over here. So can go back up to the top, and we're going to change the opacity over live, and we're gonna click right over here on the ramp, and we're gonna do the same with the size over live, also the same effect, and then color over live, also color over live. There we go. We can't use it, so I don't know why. Just let's change the color for the moment to a cool blue, something like that over here. Okay, I'm gonna change the sphere to glow sphere, so now you see it a little bit better. And then we're going to duplicate these particles. Just hold Ctrl and press D on the keyboard, and change the color if you want to from the line. Change it just a little bit, you don't have to, it's all up to you. Change this particles per second to 500, and the light will be 3, and the size will be 1. And now we can also get this to 0 again, the emitter size. I'm gonna affect the size again and the position. Okay, maybe change the size to 2 instead of 1, because it's hard to see, so effect size 2. Okay, there we go. And change the color to another blue or whatever. And change the sphere to just a regular one. Okay, there we go. And duplicate the particles again. And now we're gonna change the emitter sizes a little bit bigger, so you can see the particles flowing, flying. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying flowing. So you can see them over here, and the size will change it to 3 or maybe 5, even 5. Yeah, 5 is good. Okay, and the velocity, we can change the velocity just a little bit. Okay, and the X and Y, we change it back to 0, and we're just gonna work with the velocity. So you have this point, and it's spreading the far end. The more it's moving, it's going to be farther away. So I'm sorry, a little bit distracted over here. So as you can see, you have cool particles already. You can change the color again, and over live, we're gonna change the set color over live. That was my problem, didn't remember it. And we're gonna click on this blue, change the blues a little bit. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty cool. Okay, and now we can again duplicate these particles, and now we are going to affect this, the position again. So affect position right over here, and change the size from the particles to 1. You can keep doing this all the way, so you can get like 10 or more layers doing this, and you'll come up with something nice, or maybe with something that's overdone. We don't want that. So right now we have these particles flying just like that, and now we can also add the optical flare. So check this back on and go to Effect, Video Copilot, Optical Flares, and then we're going to Option, change, take like a natural flare, like this one, and just delete all the rings and the multi iris, so else it won't look that great. Okay, deleting all the rings and these 2 glows. Okay, so now hit OK and go to mode. If you don't see the modes over here, just press F4 on the keyboard to change that, and then just go to add, change the mode to add. Now you can see the particles as well. and the source type will be track lights. As you can see, it's tracking the light, and it's following the particles are following the flares. So change the scale maybe to 50, and let's add a flicker. So we're going to flicker, and speed will be 3, amount 100, and now it's to sell the effect just a little bit. And as you can see, if we play this back, it's already looking pretty cool. And maybe we can just enable the motion blur to sell the effect again. So press F4 on the keyboard and select these motion blurs, and then over here also enable the motion blur over here. So if we redo that, you can see while these particles are moving, you see some motion blur behind them, and it makes them go really fast. So okay, now we're going to select all these things except for the background, and we're going to layer, pre-compose, and do this as a particle flow or whatever. And then we are going to duplicate this, going to the rotation tool, and just rotate it 180 degrees, and then also press F4 on the keyboard and mode add. And now you have two of these coming together right over here, and over here we can add our text. So now we'll add our text right over here, and click on the window over here, and we're going to I'm gonna write tolerated cinematics, of course, tolerated cinematics. Okay, going to change the selection tool, move this into the middle. If you want to be correct, you can go here and title motion save, and just move it with your arrows. Okay, and we're going to do this frame by frame. So to get one frame back, you can just page up, and page down is one frame farther. So forward. Okay, I'm a little bit confused today, so I'm sorry. We're going to get right over here, getting the text a little bit more up. We're gonna choose this rectangle tool, click on the text, and just drag it right over the tolerated cinematics. And then we're going to select our selection tool, and just select these two, yeah, how it's called, these 2 points. Oh, and again click on the mask, and do this for the same, and do the same thing for the other side, and just do it like this. And then we're going to press M on the keyboard, and mask path, we're going to click on the stopwatch, and getting frame by frame farther again, and click on this over here to create another frame. And then we're going to move it like right over here, and then just make it go wider again. So click on the mask, select the right side, and do it like this. And as we move on now, let's see if it's working. Maybe we can start with the rotation. So press R on the keyboard and get it right over here. Again, click on the stopwatch to create another keyframe, and we're going to rotate it just a little bit. And I have a message. Okay, there we go. Any position also, you can affect the position maybe. Press U on the keyboard to reveal every keyframe on that video or on that layer. Yeah, on that layer, and just move it back to the right. Okay, right over here. And move these right over here. rotate it a little bit more. Maybe let's change it to 22, and that'll work. Or minus 22, I'm sorry. Minus 22. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is looking pretty good. And now we're gonna select these last two keyframes and press F9 on the key. And I'm pausing my video if I'm pressing F9, so I'm gonna do this manually. Right click, and I never done this. Okay, there we go. Easy out. Okay, and as you can see, let's play this back. Let's also change the opacity to faded in the text, so and over here we're gonna ease it in, so right click, they should stop texting me while I'm making a tutorial. Okay, there we go. Keyframe assistant and easy in. There we go. And then press T on the keyboard to and click on that stopwatch for opacity. Press U on the keyboard again to reveal all the keyframes for that layer, and get this to the middle. The opacity with 0% starts like that. Beautiful. And maybe you can also add some screen shake. So select everything, layer, pre-compose, and name it to screen shake. Oh, made a mistake. Okay, there we go. And we're going to move it while they are touching each other. So right over here, I'm gonna press P on the keyboard, create a new keyframe, and move that one frame back, and get it a little bit farther, just like this. And again, another keyframe. Now we're going to Window, Wiggler, select both of the keyframes for position, and the frequency will be 15 and the magnitude will be 25, and just apply. And there we go. And maybe we'll do this the other way around, so we're gonna change the magnitude to 15 and the frequency to 20 or 22, and apply this, and this will be much better, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and now also enable the motion blur for this, so okay. And we're done, and the only last thing we can do is change the background color maybe, and just go to Effect, Generate Ramp, change it to a radial ramp, and change the white color to a black, and the black color to a dark blue. And also change these to add so you can see the backgrounds, because you couldn't. And there we go. And that's looking much better in my opinion. Okay, so we're going back to this over here, and I forgot one thing, but I can't remember what. Well, it's looking already pretty good, so that's everything for now. This was my tutorial on how to create a introduction in After Effects with while using the Trapcode Particular and the Optical Flares. Sorry that I was distracted for sometimes, so it's a long time. I've done a long tutorial, so thanks for watching anyways. Be sure to check out my channel. I have a lot of other tutorials, and be sure to subscribe for my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.